Welcome to Midway Minute, everybody. I'm Scott Koral. He is Kevin Kaduk. And it's time for another Bears-Packers preview. Bears take on the Packers in Lambeau Field Sunday night. And Kevin, it's time for a new starting quarterback, back to Mitchell Trubisky. Your thoughts?
Return of the Mitch, Scott. I don't know if this is going to make a difference. I think this will be interesting to watch. I know we're all going into a Sunday night game in Lambeau Field. You're going to be feeling dread. You probably should, but the Bears needed to do something. They got a good excuse to do something with Nick Foles' injury, and now Trubisky gets the reins again.
Trubisky is officially 3-0 on the season, and Nick Foles is 2-5.
Right.
Not that should be any difference or anything like that, because both quarterbacks have struggled.
Mm-hmm.
But is the offense going to be any different?
Yeah. We sat here 2 weeks ago and said, will Bill Lazor make a difference? He actually didn't. He actually probably even maybe arguably made things worse. So I don't think we're going to see a lot of different stuff from Mitch Trubisky. Obviously, the big difference he brings to the game is that he can actually run for his life behind an offensive line that predicates a quarterback that needs to run for his life. So I am interested to see how he can extend some plays. You go back to the New York Giants game. You remember that play against David Montgomery for the first touchdown, how he brought Darnell Mooney back to the front corner of the end zone for a touchdown there. I'm interested to see if he can improvise. Obviously, there's not a lot of expectations. He shouldn't be afraid of making mistakes because, there's really, at this point, there's nothing to lose. So let's let Mitch ride.
In the Friday press conference, Trubisky was asked about his benching, and he said, quote, "It kind of felt like a blindside." Now, my thought about that was, if you haven't seen that coming in a year and a half of this, whatever you call the offense, that's on you, bro.
I see where he's coming from, though. It was the first series against Atlanta of the second half. So I do kind of understand. It was one mistake. It wasn't the world's worst interception. I think Nick Foles has probably thrown a couple picks where that was just as bad. Obviously, they went with him had to go with him for a lot longer. But I'm glad that Mitch is getting one last chance here. I do want to see it. I've never been an anti-Mitch person. I've never been a really pro-Mitch person. But at this point, like I said, what is there to lose?
Well, they are going against arguably the best quarterback in the NFL right now in Aaron Rodgers. And basically, we've all said it ad nauseum. He's having another Aaron Rodgers season. 2,988 passing yards, which is only 120, I believe, behind the Bears' total offense for the year. 29 TDs, 4 interceptions. Mm-hmm. He's playing great. And the Bears defense, which has largely kept him in check in the last 3 meetings, this is a 4th meeting. This is not exactly something that's easy to do. What do you think that the Bears are going to be able to do against them?
Well, I was actually going to say this is Thanksgiving weekend. If there's one thing I'm thankful for, it's that the Packers refused to build it around Aaron Rodgers. Obviously, they spent their first-round pick on another quarterback, Jordan Love, who is obviously not going to see the field anytime soon. So I am thankful for that. I am not expecting a lot in this game. I don't think you can kind of come into this game and say, yeah, the Bears have a chance. Even with the extended bye week, usually there's a tendency to kind of talk yourself into things. But given the way the Bears perform against the Vikings and given who they're up against, I'm not going in with a lot of optimism.
And that's fair, but we are talking about a defense led by Khalil Mack, who so far in the year 2020 is the second highest rated edge defender. He's also been great. That's according to Pro Football Focus. He's been great against the Packers, 17 total tackles in 5 games, 4.5 sacks, 5 tackles for loss, a pick 6, 2 forced fumbles, a fumble recovery. So Mack seems to be able to get home. The question is, on the other side, Robert Quinn, can you just get one? Just one.
And that's what I want to say. What does this all add up to, Scott? There's still -3 on turnover differential. And that's just obviously not a recipe for success with the Chicago Bears team and offense. And obviously that's not on all the defense. They've been asked to do so much. Obviously, Nick Foles threw an interception at every one of his starts. That's not going to help things. But at the same time, it just doesn't really mean a lot here. Now they've got 6 games left to go. Do you want, like, what's your ideal outcome here, Scott?
Get the last seed in the playoffs. That's really, like, that's all I want. Can you do that at 3-3? No, you actually have to win probably 4 out of the last 6, maybe even 5.
Yeah.
And that's fine if this isn't the game, but that means you still have to beat the Packers at least once this season because you still have 2 games left. None of that's going to be easy. Is it possible? Of course it is. But Trubisky has to be the quarterback that actually does it. He actually has to read defenses, throw the passes, execute the offense. Nagy has to get out of his own head. Laser's got to be better. The offensive line has to be better. That's a lot of ifs.
Right. So that now, if the Bears were like 4-6 right now, I'd be all on the train that says, look, okay, don't win any more games, don't jeopardize that draft pick. But realistically, they're not going to be picking really anything more. You know, they're in that, like, right now 12 to 15 range. So obviously, if they go on a run, it's going to blow it up a little bit. I just wanted to see entertaining, good football. The Bears have not been fun to watch for a long time this season. And even then, it's only been for a couple of halves at a time. I just want to see fun, competitive football. And I don't know if that's too much to ask. Maybe it is with this Bears team. But that's what I want. So let's get to predictions, Scott. What do you think is going to happen?
Well, I sent you this earlier in an email, so I'm gonna throw it out there. I said Packers 30, Bears 9. I really don't think that there's going to be anything to write home about. And maybe this is the game that says that the Pace Nagy era is over.
Okay. Yeah, I think you can't pick the Bears going into this game as much as maybe your blue and orange brain wants it to happen. I think it's Packers 24, Bears 13. Maybe they keep it close for a half and get some hope in there, but I just don't think that they have the horses to outkick Aaron Rodgers at Lambeau Field on a Sunday night.
And that's fair. So there you have it. Bears-Packers Sunday night. You can watch the game on NBC. But remember to hit the subscribe button if you're watching us on YouTube, and then head to the website, midwayminute.win, and sign up for the newsletter to become one of our super friends. There is some merchandise that you might be able to get if you do. So we'll see you guys after the game.